Hey everyone, I'm Jonas, and today I'm not coming to you for OMP, how you know. I'm coming to you for RadioMaster because RadioMaster have been working on some very exciting new products which we want to look at today. Namely, this little thing right here. Inside this box is the RadioMaster Nexus, as well as a fitting receiver, the RadioMaster RP3-H. So what is a Nexus? Nexus is a flybarless unit from RadioMaster made for RotorFlight 2, the probably most exciting flybarless firmware of the entirety of 2024. RotorFlight is an open source project which was forked originally from Betaflight and CleanFlight, and then went into HeliFlight 3D and then RotorFlight 1, and now it's RotorFlight 2. And the development of RotorFlight has gone absolutely crazy over the last year. The flybarless system is fully fledged with radio integration and all kinds of ESC telemetries. It has self-leveling rescue. It has insanely good flight performance due to various optimizations. And I've been lucky enough to test this little thing over the last half year. I got about 400 flights on it. All has gone really well, and now it's finally time to show you. So actually, this is the only package Nexus I have. This package is already open, so we're gonna put that on the side, and we're gonna take a closer look. Nice and small package, really compact. Nexus has got FCC and CE ratings, which no other RotorFlight hardware at this time has. And I would say, let's just go in and open it up. So we are going to cut in here. Breaking the seal. Can push open the box. Put that to the side. So what we have is a little RadioMaster card with manual firmware. Then we have the Nexus itself. Handy little flybarless unit. We're gonna go over its features in a sec. Let me just quickly unpack this. This is the RadioMaster Nexus. Very beautiful unit. All CNC machined housing, FCC and CE markings on the bottom. But let's put that aside and see what else is in the packaging. Because Nexus also comes with some very handy accessories. Take a look. We have a USB-A to USB-C cable, a USB-C extension for those helicopters where you cannot easily reach the USB port. We have 3 sets of sticky pads. We have various adapters for receivers. 3 for self-soldering, 1 for plugging in a regular servo connector, some heat shrinks, and that is about it. So as you saw, even in this very compact packaging, you get a lot of content. So this is all the contents lined up once again, and with these, you are almost ready to go. You just need to install your Nexus into your helicopter, plug in your receiver, configure it, and go fly. Now let's put all this stuff on the side and take a closer look at the Nexus itself. So the Nexus is a fully CNC machined flybarless unit. It features an STM32F722 processor, which is very future-proof for RotorFlight. The Nexus also has a built-in flash memory of 128 megabytes for your black box logs. At a logging rate of 250 Hz, you get about 100 flights logged. At 1000 Hz, if you really want to go in depth with your gyro and filter settings, you get about 25 flights on the internal log until you fill it up. So that is frankly plenty to work with. The Nexus also has an ICM 42688P gyroscope, which is currently considered one of the best IMUs gyroscopes on the market for both quadcopters and helicopters. It competes with the Bosch BMI 270, which is also one of the best. And through a very smart power design inside the Nexus, you get a very clean gyro signal, because Nexus has a dedicated 1.8 volt rail with a lot of filtering just for the gyroscope alone. So you have no interference from any other components, and you get a very clean gyro signal, which in turn provides excellent flight performance because you need to do less filtering, get less delay, and get all the movement data directly into the control loops. It has 7 headers on the servo header side. It has 3 JST-GH ports on the top and 1 JST 1.5mm DSM port. Now with all these ports, you can basically equip any modern 3D helicopter with a Nexus. You have enough ports for your servos, for your ESC, for potential RPM sensors. I'm also using the OMP Hobby capacitor backup in my M7 with the Nexus. And on the top, you can plug in peripherals like your receiver. You can also plug in a legacy DSM satellite if you're so inclined. One of these ports also doubles as an I2C port, which enables you to plug in a GPS unit later on if you are so inclined. As for the physical size, the Nexus is 25.4mm wide, so it fits into almost any helicopter frame. The total weight of Nexus is 16.8 grams, so it's rather light. That is without a built-in receiver. But a receiver for Express LRS, for example, only weighs like 3 grams, so you end up around 20 or so for the entire unit. So actually super light for a full metal housing. And yeah, this unit has been good for me for over 400 flights across 6 different Nexus units. One of them got like 300, the next one got like 50, then 20. You know how it goes. First prototypes always get the most flights. But we're not only here for Nexus. We also have the RadioMaster RP3-H, which is a new Express LRS receiver, which is geared more towards the needs of helicopter pilots. Let's take a look and open this up. So here we have it, the RP3-H, size comparison with the Nexus. This is an Express LRS receiver with a wide voltage range, so this can be plugged in directly into the servo headers of, for example, high voltage systems. But you can also just plug it into the regular 5 volts for Express LRS. The most important thing is Express LRS receivers so far have only been able to handle 5 volts. Just a tiny bit less, not a lot more. The RP3-H breaks with that tradition. Included with the RP3-H is also a plethora of cables. One cable that connects the RP3-H to normal DuPont servo headers. One cable for your own soldering needs. For example, if you're planning to use a quadcopter flight controller where you have to solder on the receiver. And very, very conveniently, a lead with 2 GH connectors, which you can then plug into the RP3-H. You heard that, it just arrests this. How can I show this? Can I show this? The connector has a little release latch, which you have to push down on, and then it releases. Listen how it clicks in. This is beautiful, because this is a very secure connection. And the other side can plug straight into the Nexus. Just like this. And now you have these two connected very securely, very tightly. You can mount these into your helicopter. It's plug and play, no soldering required. You can bind this up and go fly. But you might have noticed the RP3-H has another port, which you can plug this wire into, which also comes with a GH connector, and connect this to any voltage source on your model, which then allows you, for example, on helicopters with no ESC telemetry, for example, smaller helicopters often do not have this, to wire this directly into the main battery, up to 35 volts, and get telemetry that way over your battery voltage. Without having to set up any ESC telemetry or any other sensors, the RP3-H has it built right in. So now let's take a quick look at the Nexus installed in a helicopter. For example, this is my OMP Hobby M4 Max, and you can see it neatly fits on the Flyberless platform. The wiring is very clean, with the receiver going into the A port and the ESC telemetry going into the DSM port. All wires exit to the front, and the entire thing is just super neat. I elected to place the receiver under the receiver plate because I did not want to cover up the beautiful M4 engraving. And the antennas just lead out to the boom, and we have a super clean and perfectly nice flying setup. So the RadioMaster Nexus and the RP3-H are two brilliant new products from RadioMaster RC. They have really outdone themselves with these. And frankly, Nexus and ELRS, these things just work. I fly them in my M4, I fly them in my M7, and I have not had any issues with them. The flight performance is absolutely incredible, especially on the tail rotor. This gives you the sharpest tail response on any flowerless system out on the market right now. But not only the tail on RotorFlight is great, also the cyclic performance is absolutely excellent for various reasons, like various optimizations like the high-speed integral, cyclic cross-coupling, decoupling. It also has very smart gain and decay and bleed rate schedulings that seamlessly blend different flight situations between each other and give you just perfect stability in any situation. Together with Express LRS, which is based on LoRaWAN technology as opposed to the legacy CC2500 modules, you get incredible performance because Express LRS sheds more than 20 milliseconds off your entire control chain. And if your control chain from stick input to helicopter movements is approximately 50 to 70 milliseconds, you can see that that is a substantial saving on the control input delay. I've never felt so connected to my helicopters. I have never had helicopters react that quickly to control inputs. And both RotorFlight and Express LRS are currently outperforming basically anything else on the market. And I'm convinced that they will be a gigantic part of the future of RC helicopters. Open source is the future. Open source enables us to do things that we could never do before, like swiftly implement new features based on community feedback, direct communication with the developers. Shoutouts to Dr. Rotter, PDK, and ELUB. You guys are amazing. Rapid iterations and testing cycles, rapid firmware iterations. It's incredible. The kinds of advancements that we have had with RotorFlight within just the last 3 or 4 months have been bigger leaps in flowerless technology than what commercial systems have done in the last 10 years. So be very excited for these. Go try RotorFlight, you will not regret it. It is an amazing system. I will have links to these products, the Nexus and the RP3-H, as well as my transmitter, the TX16S below. These will be affiliate links. If you click them, I get a small commission on your purchase, so that support will be greatly appreciated. And with that, thank you for watching, and see you in the next one. Beautiful. And that is RotorFlight 2 for you in the RP M7. Wonderful, gorgeous, flies absolutely mint. I love it. Thank you for watching. Try RotorFlight, because this is the future, if you like it or not.